What is up, my true crime people? My name is Rosendo Martinez. This is my channel, Sci-Fi Rose, where typically I discuss books that I've read, give all my knowledge that I can to folks that are curious about them so that they can make the proper decisions on whether or not they want to read them or have a discussion about them. Today is a little bit different, given the circumstances of a series coming out on Netflix called Night Stalker, The Hunt for a Serial Killer, and me just finishing The Life and Crimes of Richard Ramirez, Night Stalker. I felt I had to do a review of the show itself. I was extremely eager to start it, and I binged it so that I can make this video for you. The light bulb came off when I saw this Night Stalker show pop up on Netflix. I was like, what? I had no idea it was even coming out. So I just wanted to kind of compare what they did in the show versus this book. Now, they are not connected. Philip Carlo wrote this book, and he was not involved in the Netflix series. He was mentioned in the Netflix series at the end based off of the fact that he was given permission to interview Richard Ramirez for the book itself. What I felt was really good about the series was that they were able to be detailed in the photographs that they used, which I was a bit surprised about. In the series, they actually used them. Now, it wasn't for a long period. They tended to show the photograph and then make a rendition immediately after. So it was for like a split second. I actually had to pause it to actually look at the videos because the photographs, because I was actually pretty curious about them. So that's what I did. So if you're interested and really interested in actual crime photographs, they do show them. I wasn't able to find that many crime photographs when I was reading the book. As I was doing my research, they just weren't readily available, and so I saw a lot of photographs that I've never seen before in the series, so that was great. Obviously certain things were, I guess, in a sense, blocked, like you can see everything, but they definitely did show the photographs. So that was nice to see that part in the series itself. Now, clearly, you're going to have to understand that in a book, everything is just going to be more detailed, right? The way Mr. Carlo described what Richard would say to the victims was actually shown or explained in the book, whereas in the series, they would quote, but they wouldn't continue with the exact verbiage. Cursing that he used to put fear in people, you couldn't just put that in a series. So that was a little bit different. The series was depicted through the eyes of the investigators. So you had Gilbert Carrillo and you had Frank Salerno. Frank Salerno was sort of like the celebrity because he had already worked on the Hillside Strangler case. He broke that case. The series was basically following them, and so you would see a lot of their private lives included in the series, which necessarily, well, let's take that back. It was included in the book. I would say that it was a little bit more focus in the series, which is understandable just because of the fact that they were the ones narrating, and it's specifically Gil Carrillo, but they both were, and so they're both included in it very heavily. One thing I found strange that the series actually discussed, but not the book, was the child abductions and some of the details into the child abductions. Now, Ramirez was never actually tried on those. They decided to keep the children out, but I had no idea that they were even included, which I found it a bit odd that it was not included in the book. I'd like to ask Mr. Carlo about that, unless I missed it in the book, but I do not remember. It was a bit of a shock to me when the series discussed it. So that was a plus on that side. In the series, the media was shown to be heavily involved, and they actually directed, in a sense, some of the expediency when it came to the investigation. And that's kind of weird. That's just the way it is with media. They have to do things for media so that media keeps their mouth shut, and they kind of explain that in the series. Now, in the book, they also discuss the media, but that was also interesting that they also included like the lead media news anchor person. I'm sorry, I can't think of the name right now, what you call them, but they were also part of the narrating. As I mentioned before, the series discussed more of the investigation,
and the capture, where the book itself was more neutral. It discussed the serial killings, then it discussed the capture, and then it went to the trial, but neutral. So it was more like what Richard Ramirez would say, what Gil Carrillo would say, what Frank Salerno would say, those sort of things, included in this biography of Richard Ramirez. All in all, I thought that the series was really good. I didn't see a lot of the details that I would have wanted to see regarding Richard Ramirez himself, because it was heavily focused on the investigation. It's like he was not really included, even though it was about him or the capture of him. They didn't include much footage about him, and I guess that makes sense because they didn't really see him, or they didn't have footage of him until the trial, until he was captured. So that sort of makes sense, but they just kind of just kept him out of the series, which I thought that was a bit strange, and just different in what you would consider, because when you think about other series, other serial killers, Ted Bundy and so on, they're included throughout the whole series. But like I said, it could just be the fact that because he wasn't seen until he was captured, that they did not include any type of footage of him. All in all, a fantastic series. It's good as an introduction to Richard Ramirez, and let's say you didn't read the book, or vice versa. If you did read the book, it's fine to just watch the show, and it kind of gives you a different vantage point. If you watch the series first and you just want more, definitely read The Life and Crimes of Richard Ramirez, The Night Stalker by Philip Carlo. This is an intense book, and I've already got a review on it, so you can check that out as well. I think that's it for this video. Just a quick recap of what I found interesting and what I liked about the series, and in comparison to this book. Thank you again, and I will see you on my next book review, which will be on Ready Player 2. Take it easy.